Alright, this hat like barely fits me anymore. So I guess this is technically a part two, but the other one I got done completely, but then it just wouldn't load because it's mean. That's a lot better. Okay. So Boston Bruins hockey card collection. This is part two. I'm hoping to actually do it in at least under 30 minutes. We hit the 30-minute mark. It's probably gonna be a part three then. So, well, depending on how many cards we have left. So, I try to keep my videos under 30 minutes long, and most of the time I literally do because, well, I mean, not now because I'm making 5 videos a day and each of them are like 20 minutes long. But like now it's sorry, I can't think of the word. Now it's like since all the coronavirus is going down and stuff, making much longer videos, prospect videos, hockey card videos, career videos. There's gonna be one that comes out today, and that rivalry analyzation that was supposed to come out yesterday, is gonna come out today as well because I cleared up storage. So here we go. We got Wes Waltz starting off our collection here. So here we go. Boston chose Wes as his third pick, 57th overall, in the 1989 entry draft. He was a 1988-89 Western Hockey League Rookie of the Year and 1989-90 First Team All-Star and Player of the Year. With 19 playoff games with Lethbridge, he scored a 13 league-leading 13 goals with 12 assists. The Bruins installed the speedy pivot in their 1990-1991 opening day lineup where Tennessee, as he's nicknamed, scored a goal in his first NHL shot. Then we have his prospect card. A swift center with a hard shot, West scored 54 goals and 86 assists in 56 games with Lethbridge WHL in 1989-90, and he was a member of the Canadian team that won the World Junior Championship. The Bruins gave him a shot in the NHL action when he appeared in the first 2 games in February. He registered a goal and an assist. So there you go. That's the rest is Spanish, or it might be French. I'm not sure. I don't know the difference between. I haven't looked at French or Spanish in a long time. Next up, we got Dave Pauline. So we'll go through these cards here. Here's his scorecard. Dave, who played the entire career with the Flyers until traded on January 16, 1990, was a factor for the Boston's run to the Stanley Cup Finals. He was sidelined by a sprained knee in the second game of the finals against Edmonton. He had game winners against Hartford and Montreal in the playoffs. So there you go. Here is his Topps card. Poland is a gritty who is a team leader. He's a fine special teams player. That's all it has on the card. And then there's his, what is this card? Bauman. Looks like there's no description on here. So yeah, that's Dave Poland. All right, well now I'm tired of old players, and let's get into a player that I wish was older and I wish would retire next season. So this is Brad Marchand. I think literally everyone's going to throw a party when Brad Marchand retires. Even Bruins fans. Bruins fans are going to be, Bruins fans, especially Leafs fans, are going to be jumping up and down. They're like, yay! So, yeah. All right, here is his MVP card. There you go. And then here is his Artifacts card. Marchand tied a career high in points during the 2017-18 season and led the Bruins in that category for the second straight year, while also tying for 13th in the NHL in points. So there you go. That's Brad Marchand. After that, we got 3 cards for this next player, Glenn Wesley. Let's get into him. Here is his sideways scorecard. A solid two-way player, Glenn finished the second among Bruins defensemen in scoring for the second straight year and scored the game-winning goal in Boston's series-clinching win over Montreal in the playoffs. Glenn was Boston's first-round pick, 3rd overall, in 1987, and he has just missed 6 games in 3 NHL seasons. Next up is his Pro Set card. Is this Spanish? No, it's not. The third player selected in the 1987 entry draft, Glenn Wesley has developed into one of the Bruins' Most durable defenseman, an NHL West All-Star in 1986 and 1987. Wesley made his NHL debut in the 1987-88 season, recording 37 points and earning a spot on the NHL's All-Rookie team. Wesley, who played in 1989-1991 All-Star games, registered career highs in goals, 19, assists, 35, and points, 54, in 1988-1989. And finally, here's his premier card. Very cool. It says here, a capable offensive defenseman, Glenn is at solid on the blue line. His 4 power play goals were second among Bruins defensemen, behind Ray Bourque, of course. So there you go. That is Glenn Leslie. And now we have a player who is currently lighting it up in the league. He's also in the thumbnail too. It is David Pastrnak. So here's his MVP card. And here is his previous card, but this card's actually on the thumbnail, so it's pretty cool. Pastrnak led the Bruins in power play goals in 2016-17, while ranking second on the team in goals and points, and third in assists and game-winning goals. So he was a very good player. He's a very good player. 48 goals. I think he's tied with Ovechkin right now, currently. Next up, we got Rick Nash. Now, I know he only played like half a season with Boston, but doesn't matter. We still have to cover him. Here's his O-Pee-Chee style card. And here's his MVP card. So there you go. That is Rick Nash for you. And then we go back to old players. So we have Glenn Murray next. This is his upper deck card. Glenn Murray. Glenn Murray was the Bruins' first choice, 18th overall in the 91 entry draft. He was scouted and drafted as physical winger and the ability to do dirty work in the corners. So there you go. That's Glenn Murray. After that, we got like one of my favorite names of literally all time. We got Bob Beers. Bob Beers. Bob be drinking beers. All right, so here is his. This is upper deck. Here's his upper deck card. Here's the back. And then, of course, we got to read his prospect card. So, Bob went from the main AHL to the pressure of the Stanley Cup Finals in 1989-1990. He had 7 goals and 36 assists in 74 games with Maine. It picked up an assist in 3 regular season games for the Bruins before contributing a goal and assist in 14 playoff games. A sound positional defenseman, Bob was +1 in the playoffs. So there you go, that's Bob Beers. A lot of 1990s Stanley Cup Finals stuff in here. After that, we got a pinnacle card, and it is Gordie Roberts. I promise you it's Gordie Roberts. You can't really read it. There you go. Gordie joined his 6th NHL team when he signed with the Bruins following the conclusion of 91-92. He was a key contributor for the Penguins' back-to-back Stanley Cup winners, record for a +37 rating, and 2 seasons with Pittsburgh. Prior to that, Gordie played for the Whalers, North Stars, Flyers, and Blues. And that's it for that page. So I think we have like 3 pages left. Yep. We're less than 10 minutes in. We already did a page, so I think we'll get through this pretty quickly. Next up is Danton Heinen. I think Cam Neely was the one that slowed us down a lot in the last episode. There's Danton Heinen's MVP card, and then here's Danton Heinen's O-Pee-Chee card. Next up, we got another Topps Vladimir Ruzicka. Sorry, I probably said that wrong. Ruzicka from Czechoslovakia was a regular on Hockey Highlights last season with many breathtaking goals. Vladimir, a crafty player, played for the Czech team during the 1988 Olympic Games in Calgary. He's a graceful athlete and a fabulous skater and a lethal weapon in the open ice. He scored 2 hat-tricks last season. So there you go. That's Vladimir Ruzicka. After that, I just pulled only one of his cards out. After that, we got 2 cards for the next player, and he has Bob Sweeney. We'll do his Pro Set card first. The Bruins picked Don in their 8th choice, 166 overall, in the 1984 entry draft last spring in 1990. He played in all 21 of the Bruins playoff games and scoring 1 goal and 5 assists. He played 4 years for the Harvard Crimson, garnered 59 points, and was named the NCAA East All-American team in 1988. Don started well in 1990-91, playing a regular shift and scoring 4 points in Boston's 13 games. And here's his scorecard. Don appeared in his very first Stanley Cup playoffs in 1990 when he came through the strong performance in the Adams Division final against the Canadiens. After scoring 3 goals during the regular season, Don delivered a key goal and added an assist during his third game against Montreal. His top offensive night during the regular season was a 2-goal game on December 23. Don played 3 separate stints in Maine in the American Hockey League in 1989-90, picking up 8 assists in 11 games. In his 2 partial seasons with the Bruins, he has collected 3 goals and 5 assists for 8 points both times. In 4 seasons at Harvard, Don scored 59 points. So there you go, that's Don Sweeney for you. Next up here, we got a 91 scorecard, and it's Peter Skurka. Pete got a chance to play in the NA to play on a winner for the first time in 1990-91. Acquired from the Canucks midway through the campaign, he played very well for the Bruins in the playoffs. Petrie had 3 goals. What? Petrie? Petrie had 3 goals and 2 assists in the opening round against the Whalers. The Finn had consecutive 30-goal seasons with Vancouver in 1985-1989. To 1989, sorry. There you go, that's Peter Skurka. Next up, we got Chris Kelly. In the 2012 playoff series against Washington, in which the Bruins had often seemed to have stepped slow, Kelly was one of the most reliable performers, including scoring an overtime winner in Game 1. That capped the season in which an 8-year veteran bagged his first 20-goal season and a career-best 39 points. So that's Chris Kelly. Next up, we got Lyndon Byers. Peachy card. Byers was the Bruins' enforcer. He is best friends with teammate Cam Neely. Of course, he slowed down the whole video last episode. His best offensive year was in 1987-1988 when he scored 10 goals for Boston. Byers has been hampered with injuries throughout his career. Last season was no different, but he still led the team in penalty minutes. Lydon scored the Bruins' only goal against in the last game of the Stanley Cup Finals against Edmonton. Of course, the enforcer scores the only goal for your team. After that, we got my favorite format of cards in the entire world, and he is Frank Vatrano. Vatrano notched a goal in his Stanley Cup playoffs debut, lighting the lamp in the third period, game-tying goal in Bruins' 2-1 win over Ottawa on April 12, 2017. So that's Frank Vatrano. Almost done with this page here. After that, we got a prospects card, and it is Shane Stevenson. A rugged winger, Shane has made huge strides in the NHL in the past 2 seasons. After a slow start in 1989-90, he finished with 28 goals and 62 assists for 90 points in 56 games with Kitchener of the OHL. It was his second straight season of 25 or more goals with the Rangers. He started a career with the London Knights of the Ontario Hockey League. Finally, on this final page, we have Alan Peterson, however you want to say it. Alan is an old-fashioned stay-at-home defenseman who is a husky frame to keep the slot clean of opposing skaters. He has scored only 2 goals in 4 seasons with the Bruins, the second one coming during the 1989-90 season. He turned pro in 1985 and spent a year in with the minors before cracking the Boston lineup. So that's Alan Peterson. That's it for that page. We start off page 5, I think this is, for Boston, with John Carter. John became a hometown favorite of the Bruins fans in his first full season with the team in 1989-1990. His clean but aggressive two-way play led to 17 goals in a regular season and 6 more in the playoffs. He played college hockey at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. I probably butchered that. Where his 33 goals in 1984 and 1985 helped the school win the NCAA championship. So there you go, John Carter. Next up here, we got Randy Burridge. Randy, nicknamed Stump, because of his size, is a reliable checker whose trademark and hard work and second effort. His penalty killing is the key to Boston's playoff success in 1990. Randy scored a short-handed goal in the open against the deciding fifth game against the Canadiens in the division finals. Now after that, we got Michael Ryder. Ryder bounced back to score 27 goals in 2008-2009, the fourth time in his 5 NHL seasons that he's found the net at least 25 times. So there you go, Michael Ryder. Wonder where he's at now. He's probably retired. After that, I know there's an Oiler next to him, but this guy is Dmitry Kvartalov. I probably butchered that really hardcore there. Kvartalov came a standout with the San Diego Gulls in the IHL before the Bruins signed him. The compact winger can score goals in the Bushel full. He finished his fourth in scoring for the Bees last season, including his second best 11 power play goals. So there you go. Oops, I turned him upside down. After that, we got Adam Oates. So Adam Oates, oh geez, I got a lot to read here. The number one assist man for NHL in 92-93, Oates had the best season of his 8-year career. He recorded 97 assists and 142 points, third best in the NHL. The Bruins centerman stepped forward last season, a key member of Boston's offense. He nearly doubled his single-season best goal total with 45, and led the team with 11 game-winning and 24 power play goals. Oates' 142 points just fell 10 shy of Bruins' all-time single-season set by Phil Esposito in 1970-1971, who we will get to later in this collection, by the way. After that, we have Wayne Primo. Primo produced in the career-high 11 goals last season, the 17th pick of the 1994 NHL draft. He skated his 500 game in October 5th, 2005. The veteran provides leadership and penalty killing acumen to the Bruins lineup. I cannot read. I literally cannot read at all. My phone is literally flashing. Alright, give me a second here. So freaking telemarketer's calling me in the middle of a video. Thanks, telemarketer. Alright, anyways, next up, I know that I probably should cut that out. Next up here, we got Dennis Wideman. Wideman scored the 18th 1000th goal in Boston Bruins history against Kerry London in the Thrashers on New Year's Eve 2008. I was like, this guy scored 18,000 goals. Alright, we're almost done with this page here. Next up, we have Mariusz Sureski. It's a very cool card. It's very cool on the back, too. Destined to be a fan favorite, Mariusz is a flashy player with great speed and tremendous moves. A polished spent in 1993-94 with the jersey of the Swedish Hockey League, 13 goals and 34 assists in 39 matches before joining the Bruins in April. He played the Bees in their final 4 regular season games, notching 2 goals and 1 assist. So there you go, that's the M guy. That's what I'm just going to call. After that, we got Jamie Huscroft. This is a Players Club card. And it's got nothing on the back that I can read, so that's good. And that's it for that page. We're almost there. After that, we got PJ Axelson. Axelson has been seeing the ups and downs in the Bruins organization since he was drafted by the squad in 1995. On October 26, 2007 against Montreal, he played his 600th NHL game in a Boston uniform. So there you go, that is PJ Axelson. After this, we got Gord Kluzak with the Bill Masterson Memorial Trophy. Awarded for President's sportsmanship and dedication, named for the late Minnesota North Star forward. We'll talk about him at some point on the channel. When Philadelphia's Tim Kerr was voted for the Masterton Trophy in 1989 after coming back from a half dozen operations on his shoulder, it seemed impossible that a player could endure so much time under the knife. Gord had Gord had gone even further to continue his career, undergoing 11 operations on his left knee. The big defenseman played in 8 games in 1989-1990 before suffering yet another injury. I know what this award is for: perseverance, sportsmanship, and stupidity. He said jokingly. The top draft pick overall in the 1982 entry draft, Gord outpulled Washington's Rod Langway and Edmonton's Kevin Lau. So there you go. Gord Kluzak. Kluzak. Now after that here we have Bob Carpenter. Bob, who is equally at home playing career, bounced back from an injury. Sorry about that. Played the 1988-1989 season and finished second. That's weird. And finished second on the Bruins in goals and fourth in points. The only Bruin to play all 80 regular season games, Bob's two-way play was the key to Boston's playoff success. His reputation was a goal scorer, but we thought that he could be a good all-around player, said Bruins general manager Pick Harrison. Bob was at Washington's first-round pick, third overall in 1981. At the time, no American player had been drafted that high. He played high school hockey at St. John Prep and Danvers, Massachusetts, and went directly to the NHL at age 18. He scored 53 goals for the Capitals in 1984-1985. So there you go. That's Bob Carpenter. After that, I told you we'd get to him at some point. He is Phil Esposito. Esposito, a 1984 inductee into the Hockey Hall of Fame, who twice won the Stanley Cup championship with Boston, led the NHL in points 5 times, including in 1970-71 when he set a career high in 152 points, while also leading the league with career high best in 76 goals. This probably is worth the most money in my entire collection. We're getting there now. Next up, we got Dave Christian. And Dave, one of the cleanest players in NHL, arrived from Washington early in the 1989-90 season. He helped the Bruins, I just had a glitch there, post the best regular season mark in the league. He netted 3 game-winning goals in 50 games with Boston and added 4 goals in the playoffs. It was the 5th time in his last 6 seasons that Dave didn't draw more than 15 minutes in penalties. Dave was drafted by Winnipeg in the second round of the 1979 draft and joined the Jets after playing on the U.S. gold medal team in the 1980 Winter Olympics. Oh yeah, that's right. He played three seasons in Winnipeg before being traded to Washington. He was combined for a plus minus 46 in his first 2 seasons with the Caps and scored a career high 41 goals in 1985-1986. So there you go, Dave Christian, member of the 1980 Miracle team. After that, we got one more player after this, and then we got goalies. We got Bob Sweeney, not Don Sweeney, Bob Sweeney. A skilled stick handler, Bob spent his new personal highs in points and assists in 1989-90 while equaling his 1987-88 standard for goals. He had 11 multiple point games, including a 3-goal night on November 9th against Edmonton. The team the Bruins would handle in the Stanley Cup Finals, Bob scored 2 overtime goals during the regular season to down the Kings and the Red Wings. The former Boston College star played in the 200 NHL game on December 26 against Toronto. His 100th career point was the 3-goal nights earlier against Detroit. Bob scored his first NHL goal in 1987 against the former Acton Uckborough high school teammate Tom Barrasso, then a Buffalo netminder. So there you go. That's Bob Sweeney. And finally, our last skater before we get into tendies is Brian Propp. Brian was in his 11th season with the Flyers in March 1990 before he was dealt to the Bruins at the trade deadline. He helped Boston down the NHL's best regular season record. Nailed down, sorry. He also played the important role in the Bruins match in the finals in the Stanley Cup playoffs, scoring 2 game winners. Excuse me. When you talk a lot in a video, it makes you cough. I'm sure a lot of people know that. Brian has always been a great playoff performer. He set a Flyers team record in 1987 in the 1987 playoffs, totaling 28 points in 26 games. A buzzsaw on the ice, a good penalty killer. He had a career high 97-point season with the Flyers in 1985-86, and a career high 44 goals in 1981-1982. Brian has appeared in 5 All-Star games and played for Team Canada in the 1987 Canada Cup tournament. So there you go. That's Brian Pratt. And we finally move on to goalies. So this is actually a pair of goalies right here. We have Regine Lemelin, who will be the next card, and Andy Moog with the William N. Jennings Trophy. For 3 straight seasons, Montreal's Patrick Roy and Brian Hayward had a lock on the Jennings Trophy, but Boston's superb goaltending tandem edged Roy and Hayward by 2 goals, 232 to 334, to capture Bruins' first such award. The duo posted a 2.87 goals against average during the first season and a 2.86 goals against average in the playoffs. So there you go. That's the 2 of them. And then after that, we got Reggie Lemelin. So there's Reggie Lemelin. Reggie posted a career low 2.81 goals against average with the Bruins during the 1989-90 season and shared a Jennings Trophy with Andy Moog in the playoffs. Reggie saw that only limited action as Moog's backup. Reggie is aggressive and guarding his net. He totaled 32 minutes in penalties in 1989-1990. Though drafted by the Flyers in 1974, he kicked it around the minors for 4 years, and was a free agent when he joined the Atlanta Flames in 1978. His best NHL season with the Calgary Flames came in 1983-84 when he set a club record of 19-game unbeaten streak in 1984-1985 when he posted a career-high 30 victories. There you go. That's Reggie Lemelin. And that completes page number 6. We only have 5 cards in page number 7, and one of those cards is Ed Johnston, so this might be like the second most card. This was 1962-63, so there you go. Born in Montreal on November 23rd, 1935, 6'175", shoots left, drafted by the Bruins from Canadian system. As rookie in 1962-63, he beat out Bobby Perrault in a regular job in Boston Nets. There you go, and Johnston. And after that, we got Andrew Raycroft. Sure, not a lot of people know this player. Raycroft capped off his outstanding 2003-2004 season by claiming the Calder Trophy as the NHL's Rookie of the Year. He finished 6th overall in the league with sensational 2.05 goals against average and a .926 save percentage, and ranked 5th in the league. His 29 wins were the second most ever by a Bruins rookie netminder. So, there you go. After that, this is probably a player we're going to spend a while on. Unless if some of this stuff is in French, which it could be. It is the 5 cards I think I have for Andy Moog. So, there you go. Alright, Andy. Alright, sorry. There's Andy Moog's scorecard. Andy was a 10-year NHL veteran who is very quick with his glove and very fast on his feet. He had the finest season in 1989-90, combining for Regine Lemelin to win the William N. Jennings Trophy, awarded to the goalies on the team that allows the fewest goals. He continued the sharp play in the playoffs, winning 12 out of 15 games with 1.92 goals against average, and the Bruins advanced to the Stanley Cup Finals for a second time in 3 seasons. A modest man who was always crediting his teammates, Andy was a 6th-round pick of the Edmonton Oilers in the 1980 draft. He played on 3 Stanley Cup winners with the Oilers and has appeared on 2 All-Star games. Next up, we have his Score 91 card, Andy Moog. There is no doubt that Andy ranks among the league's finest goaltenders. In 1990-91, he won at least 20 games for the 7th time in his career. Andy was selected to play in his 3rd All-Star game and posted 4 shutouts. He played 5 full seasons with the Oilers before coming to the Bruins in a 1988 trade. So there you go. After that, we got his Prozac card. Originally signed by the Oilers in 1980, Andy Moog has been a member of the Bruins since March 8, 1988. After 7 seasons, 2 All-Star Game appearances, and 3 Stanley Cups with the Oilers, Moog joined the Canadian Olympic team and had a 4.0 record in 1988 Olympic Games. He shared the Jennings Trophy with Regine Lemelin in 1990 and has set a career high in games 51 and shutouts 4 in 1990-91. So there you go. And then we have this card as well. Mook is a small goalie, 5'8", 170 pounds, who relies on the quick reflexes, but plays a sound technical game that makes him tough to beat. A good skater with excellent balance, Mook challenges the shooters and doesn't commit himself first. So there you go. And lastly, we got his All-Star card. Andy Moog, whose 2.87 goals against average was the fourth best mark in the league during the 1990-91 season, appeared in his third All-Star game in 91, a WHL second-team All-Star in 1980, and a member of the CHL's second All-Star team in 1982. Moog appeared in a career-high 51 games for the Bruins during the 1990-91 season for the Edmonton Oilers in 1980-81. He was traded on March 8, 1988 to Boston, where he shared the Jennings Trophy for the second in the league with career-high 4 shutouts in 1990-91. I told you Andy Moog was going to be pretty hard. So there you go, it's Andy Moog. We got 2 cards left. And then we move on to Buffalo in the next one. So next up, we got Tuukka Rask. I have 3 cards for Tuukka, and Tuukka won't take too long. So we have his MVP card. We have his 2014-15 card. Rask was among the NHL's busiest goaltenders in 2014-15, appearing in 70 games for the finest second in the league with 1,855 total saves. He finished 4,063 and 1 second time on ice, ranked 3rd. There you go. This is his 2010-2011 card. Rask made his postseason debut in 2010, earning 4 wins in 6 starts in the first round series against Buffalo, allowing 9 total goals in those 4 wins. So there you go. That's Tuukka Rask. And last, but for some people it may be least, but certainly not least, we have Tim Thomas. So there you go. The former 9th round draft pick won the Vezina Trophy in 2008-2009 after leading the NHL in goals against average and save percentage. Whew. That was a very busy, long Bruins collection. That's about, what is that? The last one was like 35 minutes. This one's almost the same. That's about an hour and 15 minutes of card reviews. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, do drop a like, subscribe. 81 subs. Second video of the day. I know I was supposed to do this one yesterday. I do dearly apologize about that. I don't know what happened. My computer ran out of storage and stuff. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys again in the next one.